The US government has temporarily excluded smartphones, computers, and certain other electronics from the new steep tariffs, providing relief to tech companies like Apple and Microsoft. This exemption applies to products imported from countries including China and is retroactive to April 5. This relief obviously brought some cheer to the markets. But before you think that China and the US are ready to talk trade again, there's more. Donald Trump has clarified he's not changed his mind on punishing China. He wrote on social media, "Nobody is getting off the hook for the unfair trade balances and non-monetary tariff barriers that other countries have used against us, especially not China, which by far treats us the worst. There was no tariff exception announced on Friday. These products are subject to the existing 20% fentanyl tariffs and they are just moving to a different tariff bucket." So when he says he's moving these to another bucket, it means the tariffs are coming, but they aren't enforced right now. His Commerce Secretary has explained it slightly better here.
We need to have semiconductors, we need to have chips, and we need to have flat panels. We need to have these things made in America. We can't be reliant on Southeast Asia for all of the things that operate for us. So what he's doing is he's saying they're exempt from the reciprocal tariffs, but they're included in the semiconductor tariffs, which are coming in probably a month or two. So these are coming soon.
China is checking how these exemptions will change things for companies at home, saying it's a small step by the US to correct its wrong practice of unilateral reciprocal tariffs. China and the US have been going at each other, with the US repeatedly raising tariffs on Chinese goods, taking them up to 125% and then 145% by the end of last week. China retaliated with 125% tariffs of its own on US products. China's Commerce Ministry quoted a Chinese saying to make the point. "Let the person who tied the bell on the tiger untie it." The statement further said China urges the US to listen to the voices of reason from the international community and various parties take a big step forward to cancel the so-called reciprocal tariffs altogether and return to the right path of mutual respect and resolving differences through equal dialogue. When Trump took office, it looked like Beijing was interested to talking to American authorities on trade. But ever since the Trump tariffs have kicked in and then escalated erratically, China has become more assertive. It is moving away from its earlier diplomatic approach. Chinese government officials have been placed on heightened alert, with vacations cancelled and a directive to remain available at all times. The Chinese government has launched a global diplomatic campaign to rally support against US protectionist policies. China is also strengthening ties with other countries affected by US tariffs, seeking to build a coalition against unilateral trade actions, with President Xi's visits to Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia this week. And this is something that may not have a visible impact immediately, but it is going to be a big deal. China has halted exports of 7 rare earth elements after placing them on a restricted list, requiring exporters to obtain licenses from the Ministry of Commerce. Now, that's a process that could take weeks or even months. And this move was in response to US President Donald Trump's tariff hikes on Chinese goods. Now, as a result, shipments have stopped since April 4th, causing concerns over potential shortages in industries like defense, energy, and automotives. Now, China dominates the global rare earth production, accounting for about 90% of its output, giving it significant leverage in trade disputes. The restrictions highlight the strategic importance of rare earth elements and the complexities of global supply chains. Industries reliant on these materials may need to accelerate efforts to diversify their supply sources. The halt in exports underscores the potential for critical material shortages in the global market. No one will be able to escape the repercussions of these global trade wars. With too much changing too soon, nations are at once bracing themselves for uncertainty and trying to shore up alliances and defenses. For more such stories, subscribe to SNG News, hit the like button and follow for more such updates.